The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
When I was playing basketball, I think it was like under 18s. There was this guy that was he was basically doing an article on this tournament that I was playing in, and he had me in the All-Star 5 and as the MVP, and he called me the Mack Truck.
I love that.
Aussie?
And I need you all to use that once this week. Not here, the fuck spiders.
Tweet to Taylor about how you got fired.
NFL?
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. He's just talking nothing.
To be honest, I don't think most of the time you know what you're saying, Taylor. So fair enough.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
I reckon you'd make an excellent running back.
Yeah, I'd be the fridge, I think.
I'm going to be honest. Yes, I am. I want to beat Taylor.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Yeah, if I'm coaching, I'm plowing Taylor through. That big boy has to go straight through the tackles.
I run into them and knock their ass over, Matthew.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So you're ready to go.
Fucking oath.
Fucking oath. It is week 15, which means if you've made it this far, you've probably made it to the playoffs somewhere in the world. Otherwise, maybe we're not the show for you anymore and you're just turning up for the swearing and brashness. So congratulations on making it to your fantasy playoffs. Week 15, 16 and 17 in sleeper standard is definitely the usual playoffs there. I'm Matty C, of course. Got Taylor and Manjot with me. Taylor, you made the playoffs this week. Talk to me, mate.
Oh, did I? Oh, look, I wasn't really sweating it at all, mate. I didn't mention it 100 times
Cool.
during the weekend what I needed to happen, but I was able to get one of those 3 victories from other players home, which is all I needed in the end, and I got it. And I got a low-scoring win over Seahorse, which is all I needed as well.
Seahorse.
A whole bunch of crap had to happen for me in the last 2 weeks for me to get in. It didn't look like I was looking good with 2 weeks to go. But luckily, I had my fingers crossed and was able to get home and sneak into the 6th seed so I can defend my title.
He was kissed on the dick by a leprechaun this week and he got there.
That's
so well done. Big
why
applause.
you do it.
Because Manjot, us at the Wankers, we've had a tough year. I'm sort of glad to see the end of it. How about you, mate?
I'm glad to see the end of it. The boys in the Astro League chat, though, it's not the end of it, according to them, because now we've got to actually do the consolation playoffs, Matty. That's it. That's our Super Bowl. We got to win the consolation playoffs. People say this means something for pride and ego. I'm totally down for it, Matty. Let's win that consolation playoffs.
I thought it was only 7th to 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
No.
So
this is why you've been fired, Manjot, is because we are way all below that.
We sneak in as like a late bowl bid. We officially snuck in.
I'm personally glad to not have to try and work out who the shit to start in that horrible league this week. I'm just, oh my God, I've never actually been relieved to see the end of an Astro League. This year is the first year I've felt relieved.
My fault. Another 9 months until the start of the next fantasy season. So for us, we got time to wait. We probably have to keep the same name with that fucking shit at fantasy this year.
No, I think we've actually been relegated further. I think we're going to have to call ourselves something like a college team. We're going to have to be like Carabao State or something like that. It's going to be...
I think so. I think that's...
Div 2.
Go for it.
I don't even know if we're professional anymore. I think we might have been dropped to amateur.
No, we're fucking Div 3. Okay? We're not even like Div 1 or Div 2. We're probably like Div 3. And this wouldn't be like... This would be like FCS at this point. FCS is still like Div 1 though. Because they're like Div 1, FBS, and FCS. There you go. But
East Turner Directional University or something will be next year.
Yeah.
I've always said it though, like nothing sucks ass more than having to hit the waiver wire in Astro League.
Oh.
There is nothing worse out there in this world. If you fall behind early and you get some injuries and stuff and you're just struggling, it is the worst place to be because there is just nothing there.
Oh, it's okay at 1 and 2 because, like, at worst, you're 2 games behind everybody. But it's after that. How do you catch that up? Like, yeah, we got in a hole early, and would you agree, Manjot? We never threatened to climb out of it. I mean,
not until the end. The end. We finished like 4 and 9. Like I think we got 3 out of the last 5 or something. We won. So it's
Just
like
some trades didn't go your way.
It's been
Like,
ugly.
the one-
Yeah.
one
yeah,
of
we
Moss
tried to
Thomas
trade out of
blew
it.
up in your face straight away.
But for those who do make it to playoffs, especially in a league like that, so it's 16 teams, it's half PPR, quarterbacks score a few bonuses, people get some bonuses for yardage and that sort of thing. So, and the kickers are worth a bit. So there's some real quirks in it. But if you make it to the playoffs in any league almost, then it means that you've either drafted relatively well, and that's probably helpful, but it really means you've either made some really shrewd waiver claims, some really, quite considered trades, or you've done a heck of a job just picking the iffy choices in your lineup every week to a point where you've managed to get here. And here, week 15 in the playoffs, every one of us is in the playoffs of an Australian NFL content creators league. So how about that? Big well done. I'm looking at the two top seeds, in fact.
Yeah, let's go. I actually did something
boys.
for once. Yeah, look, first off, just want to start, because this is the page performance segment, technically, that we do all the introduction bits in.
It's true.
Have to give a page to both of you lads for fucking getting me in the bye week this week. I snuck into the second
Trying to lose
seed.
weight, Manjot.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Tay.
It's
You
a
need to gain
keto
some-
pastry, Tay. It's all right.
It's one of those shit tasting like spinach pastries. I mean, I like it. I like the taste of those
I'll take
spinach pastries. But yeah, you got to
Sounds
have
fucking
it.
horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
All
I
right,
like the
first
taste
pastries.
of those. But look, yeah, you boys deserve it. Maddie beat Ian, and then Taylor snuck it over the line against the Gridiron guys. Shout out to both Ian and the Gridiron guys.
Yeah.
Man, they were close. I had to pass both of them to just get in there. And then I was just in. I was in. Once DeAndre Hop, I never celebrated a more irrelevant catch for like 9 yards than what I saw from. It was actually probably like a 2-yard catch at that point.
Yeah, I think he had
DeAndre Hop.
a 7-yard catch when he needed a 9-yarder, and you're like,
Yeah.
no!
I was like, I'm 1 yard short. I'm like, I thought it was like 8 yards or 7 yards. So I was like, damn it, I'm like 1 yard short. I just need one catch from either Hollywood Brown or DeAndre Hopkins to like get in. And then freaking Hopkins caught it. And everyone in my family was just playing some board games while I was watching that shit. So I was like, it was the end of a blowout game, but to me, it was more important than that. I was like, I don't care about the board games. I'll play in a bit. I'm actually just going to be straight up watching this. I let out a little bit of a big cheer. I was like, yes, let's go. I didn't go like full on tilt. If that first one got like completed though, if that one went for the exact 9 yards and everything, I was definitely going to go full tilt, like full on celebration, like Trey Lance getting drafted sort of thing. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I've got an
what's
embarrassing
hilarious.
video of me when Trevor Lawrence got drafted doing something similar. So yeah, I understand, mate. There's solidarity.
That's what's hilarious about fantasy football is there was a matchup between me and another guy, and I couldn't care less if I won or not. But Manjot, who isn't involved, is sitting there sweating someone else's matchup. That's how it is in the
Piercing
last
himself.
week of fantasy, though. Like even me and Astro, like I won my matchup, but I'm sitting there worried about someone else's to get me in. Like that's just how crazy it is. Sometimes it's not even your own matchup that you're so worried about.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just
And
I
it's
was
a
sitting-
2-yard catch on Monday Night Football in a blowout game for the losing team that doesn't get them a first down or anything. That you're like, yes!
yeah, exactly.
Shows
Exactly, man.
We're really damaged people, aren't we?
We are. We are. I don't know. I don't know how to recover from this. I think, what was it, like men start podcasts instead of therapy? I think Taylor sent that screenshot this week. I think that's us.
What if men start fantasy football podcasts instead of getting therapy?
Yeah,
God
that
damn.
is bang on. Bang on.
There you go. Yeah.
I can't think of a better segue to get into giving out some awards, though, for this horrible pastime that we're involved in. Should we fire up Manjot's drop and get the pastries happening? Come on.
Yes, sir.
All right.
They're so sweet and fresh.
Really?
Yeah. Thanks for calling pastries. Thanks for calling pastries. Pastries. I got all my pastries. Pastries. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. I got all my pastries and I got 'em while they hot.
Pastries on my pastry. Yeah.
It just keeps on going. I love that drop. That I'm glad I left some music in there. I'm glad that Manjot here to do the pastries too, because it's every week we say this. What a strange week, right? And it's a
It's
great
the
time to sort of
NFL.
highlight the odd things that happen. Mate, firstly, grazie for the pastry. I know you really needed me to smash Ian, and I beat him by a whopping like 1.1 points. But you know,
Yeah.
they say size isn't what's important, and they are correct. And Taylor obviously did you a massive solid as well, which is terrific. Yeah, so thank you for the pastries. I'm
Yeah,
always
it's all
glad to be
good.
a recipient of a PPP pastry.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start this week, brother?
Oh boy, there's a lot to get into, man, isn't there? As always,
No.
to catch, there's
Nothing to get into.
nothing to get into. Are we sure?
No. Yeah,
Are we
100%.
sure? All right, we'll start with Thursday Night Football. This was an age ago, but Baker Mayfield. I hate to do this as like a Rams hater and a bit of a Baker hater too. I was a Baker fan in 2020, but after that, I was like, I'm off. I'm off.
2 hours of your life, you're all about the Baker. It was so great.
Yeah, look, Baker, you got to get like a comeback pastry performer of the week award from coming back from the waiver wire on 40 hours notice just to start a game and then just do what you did. Look, I'm sorry. I've got to do it. I've got to give him a clap there, man. He deserves it. As much as I hate to say it, I've got to give the Rams credit, Baker Mayfield some credit because yeah, that was good.
It's taken a long time for a baker to get a pastry. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, he
Like
probably is. He probably should be baking those fucking pastries too. Yeah.
Do you think he'll accept it? Do you think you're like, fuck off, I make my own?
Yeah, he might say that to me, but yeah, might offend
He's
him.
obnoxious. I imagine he would.
Yeah, might offend him. I'll plant the flag Nick Bosa style. Don't worry, defensive player of the year style, right there. I'll do it on him.
Can I just jam in a really tiny rant? And Matty C, you can time me. I know it's Manjot's segment. Just
nah,
time
okay. Go for it, man.
All right, you ready? Go.
I am so fucking sick of the Raiders. They have absolutely done my head in. I've brought it up earlier in the year. The second halves, when they are in front at half time, they are disgusting. They are the worst coach team in the fucking league. They decide Devontae Adams had 0 targets in the second half. 0 to their best wide receiver. Absolutely deplorable that they decided to do that and just ran the ball in the second half. You guys are idiots.
Oh yeah, Raiders go get a choking hazard.
That's quick.
They go get a choking hazard pastry. Thanks for reminding me, Taylor. That was an absolute fucking blown lead.
That to be fair, that's a general rant I've had all year. I've been having for a long, long time about teams who just put the cue in the rack and think they've done enough in the first half. I just don't understand how teams that can move the ball so easily in the passing game in the first half all of a sudden get so scared that they're going to lose the lead that they go, oh, we're just going to forget what got us there in the first place. If they just did the same thing, they'd probably score 30 points.
Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, man.
I was on a podcast the other day where they don't call them the team name who the Chiefs are playing. They call them Team 3, which I love.
Yeah. Should we name that podcast?
We should name the podcast, but not the team.
Yeah, it was Good Day Gridiron, man.
Yeah.
We got Matty on as a special guest this week because he needed to get some things off his chest. Meanwhile, I got some things off my chest.
Rant done.
And you did it in about 30
there's my
seconds.
Rant jot.
I was really impressed. You did that in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, look, Matty, that episode will be out by the time, we're going to put this one out. So, get your full-on week recap with me, Matty, and Ian. It'll be great.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It did have a lot of familiar feeling, almost like it was a little bit Aussie NFL fantasy show because it did get a little unhinged at times, and I think he was kind of finding it hard to keep control.
Yeah, we went on for a full hour and a half. But it was fun.
Yeah, for a podcast which is usually 40 minutes an episode.
Yeah, and so it's a podcast which we deserve more listeners. We spend a ton of time.
You do, absolutely.
We got to start pushing everyone there as well. So look, Good Day Gridiron, come on, man. We got to get some listeners there. Next game, we'll go to Lions versus Vikings. I'm gonna give myself a Pastry Performer award for my accidental bold call, where I said the Lions would win the NFC North 2 days after the last Super Bowl. I legitimately said it. Maddie, you can pull out the tapes. Taylor, you can pull out the tapes. I said it. I put my entire analysis career on the line. I was just about to be fired as an analyst on this show when I said that. My man Jack.
Does that mean you are fired because they aren't going to win?
They're not going to win. And also, I've already fired you this week from the Wankers. Right. So, look, it's been a big week, mate.
They're not going to win, but they can still make playoffs. I'm just going to say I saw the Lions rise coming before anyone else in the world. Yeah. I called it 2 days after the Super Bowl. It was pretty much a bold take because I needed a worst first candidate, and it was the Lions. And look, it was pretty much, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. It was close. Sadly, didn't want to get the division title, but it was close enough that deserves some legitimate respect. So, look.
Well, the Packers were favourites, and they're ahead of the Packers, so I guess you'd say that even that in itself is bold.
Yeah.
Oh, if someone said at the start of, or the end of last season too, so the Lions is going to end up wins ahead of the Packers, you would legitimately submit that person to a drug test, right?
Yeah, you probably did that to me because I said that. I went on the.
I'm pretty sure I gave you a bunch of shit about it.
Yeah, we'll find the tapes.
Kind of my brand.
We gotta find the tapes because man, that was legendary. We gotta find the tape, put that on social media, just so that everyone knows.
Yeah, I've been pulling out some preseason takes. We've had the Russell Wilson, and we've had the there was another one in there. That wasn't your Lions one.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
It was your Deshaun Watson take.
Yeah. It was me having a bad take. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
Hey, there were some really honest things in there that were pretty right.
Yeah. Oh boy, man! All right, Bills Jets. Go give one, even though he lost to Mike White, for just hanging in there. He avoided going to hospital until after the game, but he was like fucked up and everything with the ribs. The man deserves the toughest patient performer of the week award. Just all that shit he went through, and he still did well. Boy, he was good. He was good, man. I've got to give my props here to Mike White because that guy, he just hung in there. He just hung in there. Tough dude, bro.
He's no pussy like that Deebo Samuel who rolled his ankle a little bit and he got the card out. Mike White got legitimately murdered on national television. Just gets up, runs back to the huddle.
Don't go there. Don't go there, Matty. Come on, man.
You knew that was coming. I told you on Monday I was going to do that.
Don't go there, Matty. Look, you might. The Jaguars might wear off soon.
I'm full of pluck, mate. Just give me my day in the sun. You can rain on me later.
Right. Look, Cowboys.
Mike White is hard. The only thing that Zach Wilson's is hard is his what. I couldn't get it out because Matty ruined it.
Oh,
I was just gone. I was out.
You not what when he sees some mobs.
I don't even need to finish it. We know where I was going.
Yeah, I finished it for you. I'm sorry. You can
start. Got the Mike White is hard out. I'm like, oh dear. It's a guy who's been very quiet for a minute. He's been thinking.
Yeah,
that's
all I needed.
That was good. Cowboys Texans, man. Look, I've got to give the Cowboys it's our year patient performer award because it's not their year. Bro, we know that I've seen them, they're frauds. That after this game, any evidence you need to see that the Cowboys are still the same frauds that they always are, still on display. I know they're choking in the playoffs. It's not even a question anymore. We've seen enough. They almost choked to the Texans. How can they compete against teams like the Eagles and the 49ers? I'm sorry. But the Cowboys, it's not your year. Not your year for the 25th goddamn year in a row, whatever it is. Yeah. Man, it's
no
never
year from me. Don't love their prospects. I really don't.
Yeah. Look, give them credit for blowing out the Colts, but man, you guys almost lost to the Texans. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
That's not good. Man, I'm going for it. Come on, man. Eagles Giants. I'm going to call this the weirdest game of the week because there's too much happening in garbage time. Like even Boston Scott got a freaking touchdown, and I think Saquon got on the score sheet in that late part of the game, not overtime, but garbage time. Man, that felt like an overtime game because that's how long that went. But yeah, bro, that was rough, a bit rough watching. But look, Jalen Hurts, the Eagles, they roll on. The Eagles probably going to finish as the 1 seed. meet up with San Francisco in the NFC Championship game. That's probably every bit possible. Every bit possible. Not going to jinx it yet.
If the Eagles don't get the 1 seed, right, which is legitimately possible, who does? I mean, I don't know that there's a real second team, right?
Getting the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Boy, that's yeah.
I don't even think it matters.
It would have to be the Cowboys beating them in their matchup they have later, and then hoping the Eagles fall in another game as well.
Right? Yeah. And like, is that going to happen? I mean, I don't know that there's a legitimate threat in the NFC to the Eagles at all, really, which isn't because I think the Eagles are amazing. I just think it's because the NFC's horrid.
Maddie, should we announce our water bet?
Now, you never participated in this in the thread.
Let's do it.
So I need to hear you say it. And I'm not going to say it first. I'm going to let you say it first, and then I'm going to agree.
I have no idea what you're talking about when you say this. You
have to
take your side clearly.
Yeah. You have to state your case.
And then the other person has to take the exact opposite side clearly. So we all know what's up.
I need Maddie to explain it to me once, and then I got it.
I just didn't know what I was saying in the group chat. I understand on a podcast that we need to explain it, but I didn't understand what you meant saying in the podcast. We've just been talking about it in the group for like 30 minutes.
I reckon I said, say it!
Yeah, Maddie, times. That was a bit.
And I was laughing to myself about it.
You have to explain it at some point, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, so the idea is, and this is just for the home audience, Taylor understands, Manjot understands, but it's just be like, right, so if we're going to have a water bet, like we did with Montgomery and Connor at the start of the year, I think XYZ, the other person goes, I think the exact opposite. Bang, we've got a clear line. Everybody knows who's on what side. That's what we do. And I understand it's more of a verbal thing, but I was just trying to have some fun in the group chat, man, and you just fucking wouldn't play.
So for anyone who's listening to us goes, what the fuck are they talking about? Me and Maddie are water betting the Niners will get to the championship game. So if they do, I get to dump more water on Maddie. And if they don't, they go out in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Very quickly.
I'm getting doused.
So I say the 49ers will not be in the NFC championship game.
I say they will, Matthew.
Aha! Okay, what about you?
I'm taking Taylor's side. There's no way I can take Matthew's side on here.
No, there's video evidence now, so we can't forget. We won't actually forget this one.
I said Matthew.
We do about 8 water bets in the preseason, and we remember like one of them. We remember the Montgomery Connor because that was like such a debate throughout the whole preseason. Whereas I reckon we did like 7 others that we just completely forgot.
Wasn't there Dylan vs. Hunt, and then like? Wasn't there the Dylan vs. Hunt one? That surely was.
There was a 15-minute conversation on that.
There was definitely one that with tight ends. It was like Komet versus Gesicki or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember.
You guys need to go through. We need to go through the archives.
That's the biggest who cares ever. Yeah. Who cares?
And then we need to get like a water bet compilation for all the viewers because that's that's peak off-season.
Which piece of shit has less nuts in it?
I say this piece. So this is a stupid little quote from Billy Madison here. We say this sort of thing around home all the time because my wife and I are still children. But here's a nice piece of shit.
Yeah, man. I watched Billy Madison a bit the other day when it was on TV, bro. When I got up to that part, I was laughing.
What are you looking at, Swan? We say that to each other. It's just, my wife and I are still children. We're 40, but we're children. And I will not have an argument over this, but Happy Gilmore is one of the finest movies ever to grace the silver screen. But anyway.
I can totally agree. Yeah.
So, look, Eagles, we've given them a pastry. Let's go back to where we were.
Now, one more early window game I want to talk about. And we all know which one this is. Taylor, you can mute the shit out of me right now. Maddie, turn up the volume. It's Titans Jaguars. We gotta be talking about it. But Taylor's gone, so this is now safe space for us, Maddie.
Well, Titans, it's been a good week to be a guy who's a fan of the Jaguars.
Yeah, I've got to give the Jaguars their props. I'm saying the Jaguars. They're going to have to get Pastry just for being a good team. Let me just say,
We're not a good team, mate. Hang on, we're up. I'm not
You're a good
saying we're a
team,
good
man.
team. I'm saying we won.
All right, Trevor Lawrence, best second-year quarterback. It's officially confirmed after this one. He just absolutely demolished the Titans. The Titans officially clinched the Guinness World Record Guinness World Record class secondary again, because man, that was absolutely dog shit. I think for me, it's over. It's over right now for future prospects. I just don't know about this Titans team, man. I just don't know. The Titans, they might be on the downfall in a couple years. I'm sorry to say it, Taylor. I'm doubling down, tripling. I've said this take at least 3 times, 2 times on podcasts this week, 1 time in our group chat. I think the Titans, once Henry retires, they're going to be an absolute sack of shit. They're going to be like, I'm using Taylor's like quotes here as well. They're going to be absolutely like a sack of shit. They're going back to those like 2014 Titans. Once Henry's gone, they got absolutely no one. There's a reason why the GM got fired. It's because he didn't draft a good team. They have like literal nobodies pretty much everywhere except for they have like a good player on offense named Derrick Henry. They have his clone on defense, Jeffrey Simmons. And then the rest of them, maybe like Danico Autry, I'll give credit to. But like the rest of them, they're either average or just absolute garbage. Like this is not even a team that I'm actually going to give any credit for. I know I'm going to get absolutely hated on by Taylor here, but
He has muted himself so he can just swear all he likes while you're still talking.
Yeah, there's got to be absolute hate when he comes back, but I think the Titans are falling off in the next couple of years. It's unfortunate, but man, they're going back to tanking for Mariota. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of a sweet little, because there was tank for Trevor, there was suck for luck. I don't even know what it was for Mariota.
Yeah, it's probably
monkey shit for Mariota.
Wasn't it Winston? Wasn't it Winston that no wins for Winston or something?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Was that the one?
I think that's right.
I think there was. I mean, I probably made that up, but someone should have done that.
Probably something like that because he's got wins in his name, so it makes sense, right?
And then like
the handle is Jabu wins.
Yeah, it's wins ton, and then like ton backwards is not. So then it'd be like not. Okay, it doesn't work. That was just something weird. But yeah, the Titans just suck.
I can see what you're doing though. Jaguars, the dad joke guy in me loves where you're going with that.
Yeah, it was getting somewhere, and then I was like, nah, fuck, I'll pull the pin. I'll pull the pin before I get anything. Look, look. My rant about the Titans is over. The Jaguars deserve a lot of credit. They're gonna be on the rise. Probably have the brightest future of any team in that division because Trevor Lawrence is just a guy. And boy, when they get Calvin Ridley back next year, oh boy, I'm a bit worried. They could be like the Lions this year in that offense. I'm not even gonna hold back on that prediction. But yeah, enough. I probably spent too much time with Matty C this week. I think we're like 4.
I could double down on everything you said and annoy the hell out of Taylor, but I'm not going to because I already did that on G'day Gridiron. So
yeah, Taylor can listen to that as own will.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs Broncos have to go here. All right, first off, Pastry to Taylor for predicting the whole Russell Wilson debacle. Secondly, man,
double Pastry for Taylor. Woo.
Yeah, shit sandwich award. This is going to be a season shit sandwich award for the Denver Broncos. Ooh. The official biggest disappointments of the entire NFL this season. They've gone even lower in depth than I've ever seen a team go before. I've never seen a team start so bad. I've been calling for Nathaniel Hackett to be fired since literally week 1. There are receipts of me saying it. I literally made a meme about it. I was like half serious, half joking, but I'm going to be honest. I was pretty pissed off after seeing what the Broncos did in week 1. I thought after that, he had to be fired. It's taken them probably about at least too long, if not longer, depending on how, to realize the exact same thing that I did. So I do want to say that once I saw that goddamn awful offense with my own eyes, I knew he was gone. Nathaniel Hackett has to fall on the sword as soon as possible. Also, Russell Wilson, you probably get, if Mike White is the toughest pastry of the week, Russell Wilson's going to get the weakest pastry of the week. Yeah, that Willie Gay stiff arm. We talked about this a bit on
Yes.
Good Egg Gridiron. That firstly, Willie Gay, I know I have to carry over the conversation. Why didn't you celebrate like your dad against like he did against the Bengals in 2015 when he put his hands up in the air, was celebrating, got flagged for excessive celebration, then kept celebrating for another
screw it.
5
Keep
minutes.
going.
Oh man, I rewatched that clip I think a couple of times today. I was like, dang, that was such a good moment. I just remember just waking up at 5 a.m. watching that game, and I was like, dang, best celebration of all time, most excessive. But anyway, secondly, Russ, you gave stiff arm that easily. The tackling angles and everything was so poor. I have no words. I'm just done. I'm just done.
Did he call for the cart? I don't remember.
He probably should have.
Did he? He didn't.
He didn't.
Okay, just
he should have though. Right. He should have.
Adding a list of people who called for a cart this weekend who didn't. That's all.
Yeah, he should have though. It was good. Man.
Taylor knows. He knows what I'm doing. Anyhow, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so next up, go Panthers Seahawks. I'll give Panthers a pastry for helping the Niners get a step closer to the division title. Panthers fans, give us a pastry back because we helped you get a step closer to a potential division title. Then we go Chargers Dolphins. Then I'm going to talk about the Niners in a bit. That's a bit of foreshadowing there. So Chargers Dolphins. Look, I've got to give. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I'll go give Tyreek though a pastry for that weird ass touchdown. Probably the weirdest touchdown of the decade award, because I don't think I've seen anything like that in a whole decade since the butt fumble. I think that was probably the weirdest touchdown ever. It was so weird, man. I don't even understand. And then Cardinals Patriots, finally to cap off the weird ones. DeAndre Hopkins for that 2-yard catch, you get a pastry. I know that's a bit excessive, but I gotta give it a 2-yard catch, pastry form award there, right there. All right, ready for the big ones. Don't know if Taylor's ready for them, but I can't hear anything from him. I think he's just absolutely hated me.
He's been muted the whole time since you started ruining the Titans. And I mean, I'm the Jags fan here, and I was not that disrespectful. He also hasn't heard G'day Gridiron, so he's about to find that out. But yeah, at this point, he knows who his friend is.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's not a good position for me to be in. All right, this got awkward quickly.
Considering what the last 14 weeks of the show have been like, yeah, that's pretty bad news.
Anyway, we're just talking about that water bet. This guy will help you win that water bet, Taylor. Brock Purdy, rookie page performer of the week. 100% happy. Yeah, he has to get it. There's no way Big Cock Brock can't get it, man. Yep. BCB has to get it. He has to get it after his performance this week. He was the first quarterback to ever beat Tom Brady's first career start. That is impressive. Quarterbacks in their first career start against Tom Brady were 0-6 coming into this. And then
it was only 6. I mean, that's probably fair enough. But
what's that in his pants? It's something sturdy.
Yeah. There you go. Big Cock Brock Purdy.
Oh, that was my input.
I love that.
Let's go. I like that, man. Look, for me,
we're just going to say that in the group chat for the rest of the year too. Sturdy. That's all we're going to write. Purdy. Sturdy. You don't need to say anything else. We know what it means.
Yeah, I think my auntie calls him like Big Birdie or some shit now or something. Man, there's like there's some big nickname to him for Big Cock.
Is the new Gardner Minshew? Is that what's happening here?
I think so, man. Mr. Irrelevant, the best Mr. Irrelevant of all time. You could say the most relevant Mr. Irrelevant. I went into the full history of that, by the way, on Good Egg Gridiron. Why it's called Mr. Irrelevant, everything. Because I don't know why the hell I know that. I probably know more about Mr. Irrelevance than I ever do at whatever I did in school. So there you go.
I don't remember the guy's name because it's named after a biscuit we have here. That's Salada,
yes,
right?
Salada, yeah, Paul Salada. There you go. So
if it wasn't a biscuit, I'd have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for the biscuit, then man, you just gotta risk it.
Risk it for the biscuit. It would be better if his name was something a bit more exotic, like Iced Vovo or something. But Salada will do.
Salada was nice. It's a nice thing, yeah. But look, 16 for 21, 185 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, all done before halftime. Christian McCaffrey, you could call him Christian McCarry in the second half because, man, he has so many carries in that second
I
half.
thought you said carrot. I'm like,
Yeah, there's
okay.
a reason why I got his jersey recently because, man, that Brock Purdy jersey's coming soon. I've just got to stitch a few things.
It's the debut of the CMC jersey too, by the way. We're in esteemed air to be here for the debut of the CMC jersey.
Yeah, I got it last Thursday, so straight after recording day, so couldn't put it on then, but
yeah,
I got it out today. All the cobwebs of the last week, just straight up there. But look, shout out to my auntie for that one. Yeah, so look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm hyped. If we can win the division on Friday, which will be tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, the time you guys will be listening to this, then I'll be happy. I'll be happy. The happiest person in the world coming into Capital Ball week, Capital Ball game day, 100%. Look, Aussie pace performer. I'm just gonna give it to Cameron Johnston again. Just
give him the hat trick.
Yeah, he's just an absolute stud. I saw his good punt today on the NFL Australia page. I was like, yeah, there's no way I can give it to anyone else again. Sipos got injured, unfortunately, so hopefully he's back. He was doing some mop up duty of a punt that went wrong and then he just got injured. So hopefully he gets better after that. But man, this dude, Cameron Johnston, 4 punts for 197 yards, 2 inside the 20, including 1 pin right on the 1-yard line. Deserves a lot of credit. This dude is probably the best thing about the Texans that I said the last 2 weeks. And this week he probably wasn't because they actually played a good game and the Cowboys almost choked. You guys almost did it, man. But unfortunately it didn't work out. So there you go. That's my rookie my Aussie page performer. My defensive page performance, AFC, Josie Jewell from the Denver Broncos had 10 total tackles and 2 interceptions against the Patrick Mahomes-led offense. I thought that was that's pretty good stat line to put up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a linebacker to get 2 interceptions against Mahomes of all people, yeah, that's something rare. So I've got to give him credit. That's the second week in a row I've actually given the Denver Broncos defender a patient performer award.
So weird because the Broncos are horrible.
They're so fucking their defense is actually good. Their offense is so fucking horrible.
What if they had a guy like Brock Purdy? I can just imagine him rocking up in an orange shirt next year. Russ holding his clipboard and them going, 22-0.
Fuck, that's an expensive clipboard, isn't it? $245 million clipboard.
Only the best.
Boy, you could pay me, Matt, more to just talk shit about football. Man, then have Ross as a clipboard holder. Yep. NFC, again, another Niner. I'm sorry, guys. Too much bias, I know. Another Niner because
no other team is eligible for this award.
Yeah. Dre Greenlaw, 15 tackles, 1 interception, and also tried to pester Tom Brady to sign the football he intercepted.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah, the savage levels on a million right there. I'll go. Look, after that, I was 100% sure that Dre Greenlaw was going to win it. I had to hold out a bit for Monday Night Football, but then I was like, nah, he's going to win it. It's Dre Greenlaw.
Mr. Brady. I think this belongs to you.
Yeah. There you go. It does. It does. Look, now, offensive page performance, bit hard to choose the NFC side, so I went for split. I went Justin Jefferson. He had his highest career game ever in terms of yards. He had 223 receiving yards, which is absolutely incredible. Did get a touchdown though, but if he did, he would have been an absolute fantasy monster. He's tied with Miles Sanders in my book this week because Miles Sanders, I got to give him some credit. I was absolutely hating on him last year after he fucked up one of my fantasy teams so badly.
Oh, we hated him in the preseason too, by the way.
Yeah, everyone just hated on this
Consensus hate.
Consensus, 100%. 17 carries, 144 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That was absolutely incredible. Miles Sanders deserves a pastry for his rushing performances.
So annoying.
I don't know what's got into him, but he's definitely on some different sort of level.
Ever since Talor named him as a candidate for a horrible week, and he immediately fell over the line from a yard out for a touchdown. I think I just sparked him. It's Taylor going,
Yeah.
"You're going to be shit, mate," and looking at him go.
He's actually getting some steam going behind him. 100%. Miles Sanders, yeah, getting that offensive page performer for the NFC as well as Jefferson. The AFC,
Trev,
it's Trevor. It's Trevor. I'm sorry, Taylor.
There's nobody else.
It up again, man. It's Trevor. It was 100% because, boy,
Enigmatic.
man, Trevor
Enigmatic.
Lawrence. Come on, man.
Career high in passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Come on.
1 rushing touchdown, 3 passing touchdowns, 368 passing yards, 32 for 42, 121.9 pass rating, and led the Jags to a big win. I can't
Clean
disagree
jersey,
more.
no sacks. Gotta love that.
Yeah, I definitely put the Jags O-line as my O-line of the week and my team of the week coming out.
Some Adam Gotsis there in terms of Aussies as well.
Yeah, he's on the D line, unfortunately, but it will count as an O lineman and put him there.
Their defense has been terrifically good in terms of what the offense has been able to do to score some points. The defense has actually outperformed the offense in terms of yards and sacks and intercepts. The defense gets probably rained on a little bit, but it's actually better than people think.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Jaguars just absolutely grow. Now, the fantasy page performer, we all know how fucking ass tight end is. Tight end is an absolute pain in the ass every single week. Last week, even, I even canceled tight end on Good Egg Gridiron. I didn't even give them a spot in the team of the week.
This is another Jag, isn't it?
It is. This is a guy that everyone hates on for dropping balls like left and right. But this week, man, I think he probably had balls dropping because he had a big performance. Oh man, I
tried to drop his balls in our ass.
I like how you go so soft on the words that are a little contentious instead of going like Taylor, who's like balls. You're like balls.
Yeah, I was trying to.
This guy is dropping balls all over the place.
Yeah, I'm trying to be eloquent when I'm making my
brash, baby. It's our brand. It's our national.
I have to be eloquent when I make those jokes. It's Evan Ingram, obviously. He's got to get the page performer fantasy player of the week, man. Like, yeah, how did a tight end score 39 points? That's so bullshit. He outscored like a good. I've seen some good fantasy teams that he's outscored that have even included guys like Stephon Diggs and all of these dudes. Like,
Travis Kelce had 4 touchdowns in a game and barely cleared 30. I mean, it's ridiculous. What points for Evan Ingram? I just don't understand.
Come on, man. I at least had Zay Jones and Sauce of the week, so I at least got a little bit into that party. You had Trev, obviously, Matty. We'll get onto that later. Yes. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, he's my patient performer of the week. I can't go any other place with this one. Trevor Lawrence, after career day, showing why he was the best quarterback prospect in years coming out of college ever since Andrew Luck. I've got to give it Trevor Lawrence, patient performer of the week award. Jaguars as a whole, they probably get my team of the week, as in franchise of the week this week. Just for absolutely everything. I think I'm slowly becoming a Jaguars fan. I'm spending too much time with Matty C. This is like the second day out of 3 days in a row where I'm spending with him, and then we have a 1 day break before the Capital Bowl. So you know, too much time with Matty C. Probably getting me into it, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Jaguars, Duval country, let's ride.
I'm finally getting you into actually watching football instead of just blindly following some horrible team. Now you actually get to appreciate what's like when you win a football game, mate. It's really, really great stuff. And I mean, look, Trevor, of course, he's really sort of shown, I think, since that Ravens game, they've just grown up a little bit. And man, I know I said this on G'day Gridiron too, really briefly. I just want to say again that generally when the Jags fall behind a game, I'm like, okay, so that's it. We just don't have the horses to catch up. But all of a sudden, Trevor's that horse, right? He's actually now starting to become able to be the person who can turn a game. And you know, that's what if you're going to draft a quarterback first overall, that's what you're looking to get, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know that many of them in recent times have sort of been like that. So they've all kind of been gambles, and you know, Urban Meyer tried his best to completely derail the trajectory that Trevor could have been on. So it's kind of nice to see him start to claw some of that back. And I don't know if he'll ever get it all back, but it's nice to see. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too much
good.
hyperbole. That's just nice
It's
to see that
good.
he's got some grown up in him, and it's slowing down for him a bit out there.
Yeah. I think we gotta end this segment before Taylor actually
He's resigned,
runs
by the
away.
way. Oh no,
Well,
I thought he'd resigned.
Yeah. I thought he actually
Oh, hey
was,
guys, sorry, were you guys talking about a team that lost 40-14 2 weeks ago, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Love a bit of recency bias. It's great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mr. Recency Bias over here with his team who lost 11-10 to the Broncos. And now he's like, 6 wins in a row. We're going to just win everything.
6 in a row. Yeah, that's a good enough sample size, Matty. That's why I call it that sample size. I'm saying that we're going to the Super Bowl, but we're losing in the Super Bowl. We're losing to either the Bengals or the Bills. Congrats on your first Super Bowl title to either of those teams. I've seen the pattern before. It's going to happen again. I know this. I'm not going to get myself hyped up this year. I am going to get myself hyped up eventually, and then it's going to end in disappointment. I just
some quality wins in the 6 in a row, though. It's been the Saints. Yeah. It's been the Cardinals. Yeah. It's been the Chargers who've been gutter piss. Oh, actually, it was the Rams in there. There've been some quality wins, mate. I agree with you. That 6 in a row, really representative.
Yeah. Well, this week against Seahawks, gotta make it 7 in a row, close out the division. Just put our foot down, please.
You don't get to choose who you play. That's the thing. So if you're winning them, you're winning them, and that's the most you can hope for.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same team that kind of lost to the Bears and the Falcons early in the year, so we kind of.
I'm glad you brought that up because you knew I was going to have to.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. So we're actually winning these games now. There's a thing called any given Sunday in the NFL as well. So look, the Niners
3-4, boom, fantastic. That's what you're hoping to do, right?
That Bears game was in a monsoon, and then the Falcons game that was us being like full and injury prone, no Nick Bosa. It shows why Nick Bosa is defensive player of the year. And in that Chiefs game the week after, boy, that was bad.
Yeah, you can't talk about that game. That was an absolute schmozzle.
But from 3-4, we're down and out at 3-4.
That's a burn the tape game.
Yeah. Down and out at 3-4. Now we're like 9-4. So I'm not going to be too upset. Not going to be too upset by that.
I'd love to be 9-4. I don't think my Jags have ever been 9-4.
Even that Bortles year, 2017.
No, we finished 10-6 and won a division on that. And it's the only time we've ever won that division. I think the last time we might have won that division once before, back when the Seahawks were still in it before the realignment.
The Central.
Yeah.
The good old Central days.
If you got a team in Florida in the same division as a team in Washington State, you know your system's not terrific.
Yeah. There used to be, back in the day, there was, this going way back, like the 60s or something, 50s or 60s in the NFL. They decided it was a good idea to have the 3 divisions be like the Capital Division and then the Central Division. And then there was this one division called the Coastal Division, which was just full on East Coast. There was like 2 teams on the East Coast, 2 teams on the West Coast. It was like the Niners, the Rams, and then the Baltimore Colts. I think
who aren't even on a coast.
Yeah. And then who else was in that coastal? There was one more team that I think it was in the South somewhere. Yeah, but look, I think it was the Saints. Yeah. I just can't remember. But yeah, there you go. There's been horrible decision planning until that realignment just completely changes all up. And yeah, now it's actually pretty decent. Except somehow the Colts
got some massive holes in it, but yeah.
Yeah, where's the Colts? Why are the Colts in the South? There you go.
Yeah, Tennessee is actually not all that south, to be honest.
Yeah. Some weird.
They can shake hands with Baltimore, and it's like, yeah, but they're the North.
Yeah, it's weird.
And why the Cowboys are in the East?
Yeah,
anyway.
Yes.
I realize there's some grandfathering problems there, but anyhow. All right. We will turn this into an episode to get a grid on at one point too, but excellent pastries, by the way. I was very pleased to get one. I'm very, very pleased to see Jags get 3. Taylor himself got 2, even though he then muted himself for 80% of the segment, which is a new world record, by the way. Congratulations on another successful week of pastries, Manjot.
Thank you.
Are you bringing some to the Capitol Bowl on the weekend real quick?
Hopefully.
Because
I
you're
mean,
going to have to actually have some pastries to hand out to some pastry performers in the Capital Bowl, won't you?
Yeah, surely. I'll try. Try and
If
make
not,
them.
we'll literally just buy a sausage roll on the way to the ground, and that will have to
Oh,
just
there's
be
they
honorary.
they sell pastries though at the ground. They always do.
Gonna have to make sure you get one though, because you got to be able to give something pastry away. You can't just say it this week. You actually have to give it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think we'll wrap that one, and we'll be back for a second show of the week with the doctor. I'm looking forward to getting to the doctor's calls because he had a heck of a week. And then, of course, later in the week, we've got the fantasy games and starts of the week. I actually got a little bit of a surprise for the fantasy games. Looking forward to that. So make sure.
So sad to hear this segment end. So sad.
On that note, we'll see you for show 2.
Thank you, Taylor. It's a good segment. Thank you. See you, everyone.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
And they just went and, I don't know, put up 40 fucking points. And then none of it went to basically anyone. It didn't make any sense.
It's okay, so I did the math wrong there.
Oh, you definitely weren't wrong. I was just trying to work out what it had anything to do with TJ Moore.
Aussie.
Baker sucks pure ass. Well, he's so bad.
I think it's Baker, to be honest. That's the problem.
NFL.
One should have been a Hall of Fame if he didn't get fucked up.
You know, I'll take Matty C's fucker.
Fantasy.
To the Colts' credit, they've got great fans who send out death threats to people because they said that their comment didn't age well.
He had a photo, I'm assuming it was his kid. Looks like it was from Fraggle Rock.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
I hope he doesn't listen to the rest of the fucking podcast. He'll lose it even more.
Like, I'm not defending AV or Le'Veon. They're both shitheads.